What if everything you've been told about loneliness is a lie? We live in a world that teaches us to fear silence, to be always online, always connected, always surrounded. Society is engineered to convince you that being alone is a sign of failure, a social disease. But what if I told you that the greatest swordsman in history, Miyamoto Musashi, undefeated in over 60 life-or-death duels, discovered a brutal truth? What if his invincibility didn't come from his legendary two-sword technique, but from his mastery of solitude? He didn't become a legend despite being alone. He became invincible because he was alone. At the end of a life spent on the edge of a blade, he retreated into the Rigando cave, the spirit rock cave, to meditate and distill his life's philosophy into 21 precepts. The code was called Dokkodo, the way of walking alone. This isn't just a history lesson, this is a war manual, a tactical guide for applying Musashi's ancient code to the modern world and transforming solitude into your greatest and most lethal competitive advantage. The first tactic from the Dokkodo for the modern warrior is brutally simple: cut the noise. One of Musashi's core precepts states, "Do not seek pleasure for its own sake." In his world, that might have meant indifference to fine food or comfort. In our world, this translates to a single urgent command: stop chasing the cheap thrill of infinite distraction. Most people use their phone as a shield against the terror of an empty moment. They cannot endure 5 minutes of silence because their own thoughts are more frightening than any external noise. This relentless hunt for cheap dopamine notifications, endless scrolling, useless news is your greatest enemy. It shatters your focus, corrodes your willpower, and makes you a slave to the validation of others. Musashi understood that detachment from superficial pleasures was the first step toward profound focus and unshakable will. Pleasure, for him, was not the goal. It was a potential trap that distracted from the way. Your first tactical mission: for the next 24 hours, go on a digital fast. No social media, no pointless browsing. Delete the apps if you must. Feel the discomfort, feel the boredom, feel the withdrawal. It is in that void, in that silence, that your mind will begin to reorganize itself. Like a blade being hammered and sharpened on an anvil, clarity is born in silence. The second tactic is your training ground. Accept discomfort as your dojo. Musashi wrote, "Accept everything just the way it is." This is not passivity. It is a combat strategy. You don't waste energy wishing reality were different. You don't wish the rain would stop during a duel. You adjust your footing. By accepting what is, you can act with clarity and purpose, free from the distortions of denial or hope. For most, solitude is uncomfortable. Excellent. Use that discomfort. Today, we are programmed to avoid all friction. We order food to avoid the effort of cooking. We binge watch shows to avoid the effort of thinking. We fill every second with noise to avoid hearing the whispers of our own minds. Musashi chose the opposite. He walked an austere path because he knew that strength is never, ever born from comfort. Your tactical mission: designate 1 hour of your day for absolute silence. No music, no podcasts, no videos, just you and the storm of your thoughts. It will be intensely uncomfortable. Your mind, addicted to stimulus, will scream for a distraction. Let it scream by facing your inner chaos without flinching, by observing it without judgment. You build an internal fortress. You forge a peace that no external circumstance can ever breach. The third tactic is a radical purge. Abandon the weapons you don't need. Two of Musashi's precepts are ruthless in their minimalism. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. And do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. Today, your unnecessary possessions aren't just physical objects cluttering your space. They are the grudges you carry. They are the pointless arguments you entertain online. They are the heavy opinions of others you allow to shape you. They are the constant draining habit of comparing your life to the curated highlight reels of others. Every item, physical, mental, or emotional, that does not serve your mission is dead weight. It drains your energy and occupies mental space that should be reserved for strategy, focus, and action. While the world drowns in excess, the warrior's path is one of reduction. Keep only what is essential for the fight. Your tactical mission today. Get rid of 5 things. They can be 5 physical objects you haven't used in a year. They can be 5 resentments you finally choose to let go of. They can be 5 social media accounts that only bring you envy and self-doubt. Create space. A warrior burdened by excess luggage is a slow warrior, and a slow warrior is a dead warrior. Miyamoto Musashi did not fear solitude. He weaponized it. He turned it into a sanctuary, a private forge where he could sharpen his mind, master his emotions, and become invincible. A week before his death, he gave away his possessions and left this code as his final legacy. Modern society wants you to fear being alone because focused individuals are difficult to manipulate and control. They want you distracted, anxious, and constantly seeking approval. Solitude is not a void to be filled. It is your private training ground. It's where you build a strength that needs no audience and a resolve that requires no applause. The question is not if you will feel lonely. You will. The question is what you will do when it happens. Will you reach for your phone like an addict jonesing for a fix, or will you seize the silence like a swordsman seizing his blade, ready to forge your will? The Dokkodo is a path of brutal discipline. These are not suggestions. They are commands for a different way of living. I challenge you to a 24-hour monk mode. No social media, no background noise. Speak only when essential. Face yourself. If you accept this challenge, comment, "I accept" below. Subscribe for more warrior philosophy for modern life. And remember, in the silence, the warrior finds his ultimate weapon. Never stray from the way.